Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. Y'all excuse how crazy I look. Having a rough couple of days. Many of you know why. And just in case you don't know, it is because I solicited prayers for my aunt who was going through a lot, and she recently transitioned. She passed away. So yeah, I would like to thank everybody for your prayers. Please continue to pray and lift my family up in prayer. All right, y'all. I have to get into this mode because if I don't, I know that I'm going to fall into a deep depression. I know how I get. And I'm really trying to change that narrative. I've already kind of done that before within the past 6 months. I've gone through some stuff and I've actually done exceptionally well, and I'm shocked. But with this being a really, really close family member that passed away, it's really shocking and it's just a lot. It's been overwhelming. My face done broke out. Y'all, it's just a lot. So anyway, let's go on ahead and get started. So before we get started, let me go ahead and show y'all the shirt. Sit back a little bit. So this is a Walmart special, y'all. Let me turn this a little bit. But yeah, it's a Walmart special. I've actually I wore this for the first time today, and I got so many people talking about it and like, oh my gosh, I love your shirt. I'm to my random people who work in a completely different department from me, and they roll all the way up, and I'm in my own world, and they roll up. I'm already in my own head because of what's going on. They're making funeral arrangements as we speak and all this. I don't know the ins and outs, but yeah. So people have been complimenting me all day on this shirt. So just in case somebody wanted to know about it, and just in case you want to know where I got it from, this is a Walmart special, honey. I saw it and I was like, ooh, wait a minute. I like this vibrant. This is just so vibrant. Yes, Lord. And also I got these earrings. Fun fact, y'all, I finally purchased these earrings. I had them in my cart on Amazon, of all places, for like 2-3 years maybe. And I finally pulled the trigger on it, y'all. And it's not like they were expensive. They really weren't. Anyway, now that I've gotten all of that out of the way, thank you, like I said before, for all of y'all's prayers. Let's get into this review. So, this episode started out with Gently's parent, as she likes to call him, one of her uncles. He's out in the backyard watering the garden. Look, I don't know if it's lemons or oranges. I guess it's oranges back there in his back garden. And it's early in the morning. And then Evan done bust up out of nowhere and rolled up. And you don't do that. Don't nobody do. You ain't announce yourself or nothing. He just rolled up. So I was like, oh my gosh, no. So he brings him a bottle of bourbon. And so he looking at him like, what is the occasion? Like, what is the meaning of this? Why? So he was like, well, I need to talk to you, one-on-one or whatever. And so he invited him into the house, and he immediately realized that he was not alone because Gently's other uncles were there as well. And he didn't know that he was actually infringing upon a celebration of life, which was that of actually Gently's father. And he went by the name of Lucky Buddy. So they were in the middle of making breakfast, and it's all 4 of her uncles in there, and they are letting him know this is what's going on, because he was like, oh, I didn't know something was going on. And they were like, yeah, we're celebrating this. And so he's over here thinking that he's going to get Gently's main uncle, the uncle, y'all, the one who everybody will forever remember, this man acting in Soul Food as the man who slept with the cousin Faith. Yeah, that guy. I cannot. But anyway, So, he was like, oh no, I need to speak to you one-on-one. And so he politely sat down, like, I said what I said, and whatever you got to say to me, you can say it in front of them as well, because we're all her uncles. Ooh, Lord, y'all, I got choked up all of a sudden. I said, wait a minute. I got to drink me some water or something, y'all. Woo, anyway. Woo, Lord. So he was like, okay. So they ended up, letting him go ahead and have a seat. And he taking a while to spit out what he gonna say. You can guess what's gonna be said by the way he's acting anyway. And it's like, oh, but before all that even happened, they offered him breakfast. And he was like, oh, no, I'm good. And they politely fixed him a plate anyway. And I was tired of my spirit when they asked him, did he want salt or sugar? Or something in sugar in his grits. And I was like, sugar? I hate... Listen to me. Listen to me. Sugar does not go in grits. Sugar does not go in spaghetti. Sugar does not go in rice. Okay? I thought I'd, take a little moment to say that. Y'all, I cannot. I had the ex I told y'all about that lives in Huntsville. That's the first time in my life I ever heard of anybody putting sugar in grits and in rice. I was like, what? So I'm over here trying to figure out, okay, well, what is it hidden for? Eventually I tried it. And I have another ex who lives for that. And I'm just like, I finally tried it, y'all. I cannot. I was done. I could not add sugar. I could not add salt to it to make it taste halfway pleasing to my palate. Like, I was done. Like, no, I guess this is going in the trash. I don't want to waste food, but this is something that's just gonna have to go in the trash for me. It's a no. I cannot. So, y'all, I was tired. I cannot do it. I'm sorry. I done went on a rant about sugar going in rice and all that stuff. I can't do it. So anyway, y'all, he eventually gets around to saying that, he wants to propose to Gently. And tell me why all of them paused and was like, oh my gosh, like, you really love her. You must really love her. And all that. I was like, oh my gosh, no. And it's funny because, like, before he even got into what he wanted to say, they said, okay, we're going to pray over the food. They all held hands, and they ended up telling Evan to say the prayer and all that, y'all. So anyway, he said what he wanted to say about all that. And it was just so cute, y'all. It was so cute. I was like, oh. Y'all, it was so crazy because all of the uncles sat around and they were like, one of them, I can't remember what I know him from, but he's been in several things. But he was the first uncle to say something about, well, I just want to let it be known that I'm Gently's favorite uncle. And I was just like, bruh, you doing a lot. But anyway, all of them started spouting out these different stories. Like, no, I took her to go get her tampons and all this other stuff when she first got up here. And I went and got her sanitary napkins, all that other stuff. And another one was like, no, I taught her how to drive. I taught her how to kill somebody. I was like, oh my God. It's like they went all the way off, but they lived for her. And everybody was just like, I feel like you're a good dude. You better do right by her. Do you really love her? And you could tell. And everybody was just like, yes, you better. So now they're fast forwarding and they are showing Evan and Gently at his house. And she's like getting ready for the day, brushing her teeth and all this other stuff. And he's just he's just really, I live for how he loves her. And I don't think that's something that I'll ever see, but, I would just live vicariously through TV shows like this and the very few people in real life that I do see this happen to. So it's just crazy. They're just getting ready for the day. And I was just like, oh, okay. And she looked at her phone like I do in the mornings. I try to check and see what the weather going to be doing. And she was like, oh, it's going to be hot today. And so she's, right now actively trying to figure out what she's gonna do for Miss Luma, because she has an air conditioner, but it's nothing. It won't do anything to combat the heat. So it's like, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for her. Cause you already know she ain't finna accept no help from nobody. And she ain't trying to hear nobody try to replace it, even though an air conditioner ain't that much money, and even one of the cheapest ones in the world, she is still not trying to do all that. So she ended up going on over there to her job at Miss Luma's house, and they talking, and she over here talking about some, come with me to the library, because you know they had an air kicking in the library and all this other stuff. So she was like, no, I don't think I want to do that. Like, she really was trying to trick her into going and getting out of that house, because she's not going to leave the house. And so I was like, oh, Lord, this is a lot going on, y'all. So meanwhile, Evan is out and about. He's, departed from Gently, and he's looking for office space. Everything is coming to fruition for him. That business that he said he's going to own, he's now looking for office space. So the person who's over the funding, all the funds, rather, y'all, I done seen this man in so many things. I cannot think of it. He was last in the most recent thing that I remember seeing him in was, what was a TV show? What was that TV show? It was a TV show that came on BET with Lauren London. Oh, and the dude that played the raggedy basketball player from Insecure that I don't understand. I think everybody lived for him because he light skinned, and he actually is ugly to me, but who am I? I'm ugly too. I'm just saying, if I'm ugly, I can call out another ugly person. But, oh my gosh. But he played in that TV show that I said with Lauren London in it. And I think I actually did reviews for it. I don't know why I can't think of the name of it. But that dude was playing her husband. He was cheating on her, and he was the assistant to her friend. I don't know why I can't think of the name of the TV show, but this is the guy who's playing the dude who's like over the financial. So whatever's going on, he's just like, look, this is too much. We're going to have to pay $3,000 extra if we get this space. And he was like, man, we can't keep trying to cram business into that small place. So wherever they're at right now, they got a lot of business coming in. And even though it's picking up, it's not where it needs to be in order for him to be able to cover those expenses at that level. But he believes so heavily in what he's doing that he really feels like he's going to be able to get there. He's going to be able to do it. So at this moment, he's like, well, I guess, since he said we can't do it, we ain't going to do it. Y'all, tell me why Ms. Luma's still at the house, ain't trying to leave. They are literally sitting in front of a small window unit. Both of them are sitting there. All this air is blowing. At first, I thought it was a box fan, but I looked at it, I said, wait a minute, that's an air conditioner. And they over there both dying, about to like pass out in front of the air conditioner. So she was like, oh, why can't, she really is talking about all these different things that she can do. Still not trying to be like, man, it's so hot up in here, man. You need to get on up out this house. She was like, no, I'm not trying to leave my house. What you can do is go and get some mint leaves from somebody, and we can make some cool, nice, cold lemonade or whatever. So at that moment, Evan comes to the house, and, she looking at him like, hey, babe, what you doing here or whatever. And he was like, I want to take my baby out. Let's go for a ride. Let's go for a drive. And so he was like, she looking at him like, I got a job. I'm at work. I can't just up and leave like some people. And so he was like, well, I asked my boss if I could be off, and my boss let me off. And so she was like, well, I'm here with my boss, and my boss wants to stay in. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So tell me why, y'all, this Luma is, I cannot. This heifer sat up here, politely opened the door. I thought she was just being how she normally is, being nosy. She was like, ooh, that sounds like Evan. That's what I'm saying to myself. No, this heifer done schemed on some things. I was like, ma'am. So Miss Luma was in on all of this. She knows about the proposal, all of that. So somebody honking the horn, and she trying to figure out, Jenny looking like, oh, that's Miss whoever the woman was. She said, then Miss Luma that came out the house. She was like, oh, you were right. I need to get out the house. And, she greeted Evan and all this other stuff. And she said that her friend came to pick her up. And so Evan was like, Miss Luma, you need me to walk you to your car? So she was like, yeah, that'd be nice of you. Walking her to the car. And he was like, thank you so much. this worked like a charm. You really are a great actress. And I was just like, I was done. I was like, Miss Luma, ma'am, I cannot. So she was just telling him, look, you better do what you gotta do. All I know is she better come back with a ring on her finger. She better say, yes, whatever you gonna do, you better do it right. So, I was like, oh, that's so cute. So they are now out and about. He's driving. They're going down the highway. They listening to some song. I don't know what it is. They had California in it, and it was some rap song. I ain't here for it, but they like literally had a minute or two of them like going back and forth together, vibing off of this song. And I was like, okay, all right. And so he ended up going to some place that had like a koi pond, like, but enclosed in an aquarium type form, if I'm not mistaken. But it was like the entrance to some really nice place in California. And he ended up getting a room for them, and like it was overlooking whatever. I don't know. It just looked like it was overlooking the ocean or something. I was like, what is going on here? And like the view was amazing. So he planned things for her, and he was like, I got you. He ended up buying this dress for her, and he was like, I tried my best, you know what I'm saying? All I knew is that your favorite color was green. And so she was like, oh, okay. And then she saw some boots in the bag. Like it was like hiking boots. So she got real excited for that. So they were gonna go hiking. They actually went through with that. And yeah. So tell me why they go hiking, and they're in the middle of hiking, and he turned around for a second, and then he turned back. Gently is missing. I'm like, girl, what is going on? And he literally just said, all kinds of animals be out here or whatever. And like, he literally is calling her name, calling every nickname of hers, looking everywhere, frantically running around looking for her. Like, it was bad. So then like she eventually hears him, and then she like kind of goes up from wherever she was at, comes up, and he was like, what were you doing? I've been calling you. Like, he was like for real worried. I was like, oh my gosh, no. Like, y'all, if you would have thought somebody was gonna like cry, like he was on the cusp of crying. Like, he really thought something happened, or he thought and I really feel like he felt like one of those animals that snatched her up and like did her in, like, for real, y'all. So I was just like, oh my gosh, that is so, like, it was bad. He was like, you can't, like, he went off a little bit. He was like, you can't do that. The first rule is you never separate from the people that you're with when you're hiking on, because anything can happen. Like, you really have to make sure that you are on your P's and Q's. Anything can happen. So it was just bad. Like, she had to hug him and everything. I said, Lord. So Gently and Evan are now back at the room, and they're getting ready. He has made reservations for dinner, and so he goes to go take a shower and invites her in. He was like, we can be late if you join me. And so she was like, okay, I'll be there. This heifer starts snooping through stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, no. Why are you doing this? So then at first she was trying to snoop, and then she was like, nope, let me zip it back up. I'm not going to snoop. Then all of a sudden she starts going through random bags, and then she went through his clothes that he had set out that he was going to wear to dinner. And of course she finds the engagement ring, and she has a look on her face like she's like, no, why is this happening? Like, it was no kind of look like that. And I was like, girl, why are you looking like that? I ain't here for this look. So tell me why they end up going to this place. Like, she really looked scared and disappointed. And I was just like, girl. So anyway, they end up going to this restaurant, really, really, really nice. It appeared to be a very nice restaurant. And they had like a 7-course meal. And the last thing they brought out was some kind of cheesecake, oatmeal, cookie tower thing. And she's like in the middle of kind of trying to stop him from going any further. And he was like, no, you need to trust me. I have one more surprise. So then they have people coming out playing instruments like violins. I don't know if it was cellos involved. I wasn't paying attention to what they actually looked like. Otherwise I would have told y'all. And the people came and they were serenading her. And then of course they came with some more wine and stuff. And Y'all, she turned around for a second, I guess, to look at the person who was pouring the wine, and then turned back around. He was on his knee, proposed to her. She looked around and saw all the people that were in that place looking at her. And I was like, girl, you better not sit up here and say yes because these people are there and you really don't want to marry him. And that's exactly what she did. And I was like, girl, you knew you was wrong. So they ended up going for a walk on the beach at the place where they, actually been at the resort, I guess, or wherever it was. It must be somewhere near whatever resort they were at or on there. I don't know if it was all inclusive or what. And they're talking, and she's like, I need to talk to you. And she literally is just like, I need a minute. I need to breathe. And I was just like, girl, what is there to think about? What is there to ponder? What? I don't understand. I'm tired, girl. So there was a couple that rolled up on them. It was like, oh my gosh, congratulations again. I saw the proposal. It was just so beautiful. Can I see the ring again? And like she, showed the ring. Like I was just like, girl, oh my gosh. And I mean, this heifer said, when is the wedding date? Did you already set a date? I was like, girl, you're doing too much. So the husband I think the husband kind of got the hint, like either they're being annoyed or they just got in an argument. It's time to go. So she was like, oh my gosh, just congratulations again. It was nice meeting you. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. And Evan was tired of his spirit. And you could tell he was beyond hurt. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Because like before that even happened, he was talking to her. I'm talking about when the scene first came on, he was talking to her while they were walking. She was like, oh my gosh, my mom's going to want to be involved. My mom, you're just going to have to let her do her thing. My sister's going to want to be involved with the dress. And so she cut him off. And I'm like, girl, no. Y'all, so like I said, Evan was hurt. Like you could tell he was hurt. Beyond hurt, and he was numb, and I was just like, oh my gosh, no. So I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like really too much, y'all. So he ended up walking. I don't know where they were, but on some beach that they were walking on, there was like a bar. Walked up to the guy at the bar, walked up to the bartender and was like, I need gin straight up. Dude gave it to him. Next thing you know, tell me why he done sat up here and put the ring on I don't want to say table. We all know what I'm saying. He done put the ring on the counter and was like, do you know of anybody who wants to buy this? Because I'm trying to get rid of this. And he was like, how many carats is that? And he told him it was 10 carats. And he was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah, I need to get rid of this right now. Like, he even was like, you need to take a few days to think about this. Gently said the same thing. Like, I just need a little time. He was done. He was like, man, just call your person. So I was like, oh my gosh. Like, he went, like, that's how tired he was off rip. I was like, sir, no. So he finally showed back up at the hotel room that they've been staying in. Gently had been back there. I don't know how she got back. I don't know if it, like I said, I don't understand if it was an all-inclusive place or whatever, and it was just somewhere, like, I don't know. But she's back, and she's just sitting there waiting on him to come back in. And so she was like, are you ready to talk? And he looking at her like, girl, ain't nothing to talk about. You already said what you said. You said what you said. You meant what you said, and nothing else to talk about. So he said, from what your response was to me, it seems like you're done. So ain't nothing else to say. So he done left out. So then they end up showing him dropping her off, I guess, either at Miss Luma's house or at her father's, uncle's house. At the uncle's house or whatever. And she was trying to explain to him, like, look, I still feel the exact same way, if not even stronger than I did before you even picked me up today. I love you very much, all this other stuff. He wasn't trying to hear none of that. He didn't say nothing, but she ended up getting out of the car. Man, tell me why they end up showing her boohoo crying, looking crazy. And her uncle, the main one that we always see, he done rolled up and was trying to talk to her. Like, she was like, I don't understand. I'm like, girl. Oh my gosh. He had to he had to kind of read, but with love. And he let her know, like, you have to let that stuff go. You need to let your mama go. You need to let everything with your mama go, everything with your daddy go. Anything that is in you that is giving you this fear to just let this man do what he's doing for you, you need to let that go. That man loves you. That man looks at you like you are everything in the world. I was like, oh God, oh my gosh, oh my God, like for real. Yo, I've been getting my life. It's like he does treat her well. And it's like, girl. So tell me why he ended up going to meet up with the brother-in-law. I wish he would stop meeting up with this raggedy brother-in-law. I don't care. I don't care if you are married to my brother or my sister. If you have been talking reckless about this person that I am infatuated with, which he apparently is, I would not be hanging out with you. Because at the drop of a dime, when things ain't going right, and if I roll up on you, you might say something to make me want to just be like, well, yeah, you was right. No. Anyway, he basically was still on the same thing he'd been on since day one. Tell me why he was venting a little bit, and then he was like, well, have you thought of counseling? And so he was like, no, or whatever. And then he was like, I know that's your sister or whatever, but I got a little apartment. He got an apartment like somewhere. And I don't know if we're supposed to infer that he's living two lives or he is just kind of away from her and he goes there and comes back and puts on a front for their daughter. Like, I don't know what that is supposed to be about, but I guess they'll go more into detail. But yeah, his sister do be doing the most. So I kind of don't blame him, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was out here having the audacity, gall, and everything else in the world to have a side chick of some sort. But anyway, y'all, tell me why he was sitting up there. He heard something. He was like, and it was gently calling out to him. And she was like, Evan, are you up there? And he peeks over and she was like, I need to talk to you and all this other stuff. And he ends up talking to her. And she was like, something doesn't seem right because you love me. Like, you love me so much. When I wake up, you're kissing me. When I go to sleep, your arms are around me. Like, I feel loved. I feel all these things I've never felt before. You are making me into a person that I don't even recognize. And I mean, it's a good thing though. And I was just like, girl, you're turning me into someone new. I was like, girl, if you don't get, girl, I'm tired. So she let him know that she loves him and all this other stuff and had the nerve to propose to him. And he was just like, nah, what we're not finna do is this. When you ain't finna go back and have your Uncle Bone and all them look at me and be like, what? You proposed to him? Nah. And then they said it all. So he ended up proposing to her again. And she said yes. And she actually gave the reaction, the genuine reaction that she should have gave the first time. So I was here for that. I'm excited to see what the next episode is going to bring and all that good stuff. So yeah. Anyway, thank y'all for hanging in there with me. I know this was kind of long and I had to update y'all at the beginning of this video. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this. Y'all, thank you for all of the new subscribers. I really appreciate y'all. Welcome to my channel. I hope y'all have a good one and I'll see y'all later on for something else. Bye.